in 3 months.
Is put a for rent sign and have someone who will answer the phone. And because I used to get people come to me and say, why isn't the county answering the phone? They had a secretary that didn't even know how to take a message.
I myself showed properties for the county several times.
One hobby.
Years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
The beauty parlor.
Yeah.
They turned down people to be in the beauty parlor to hold it for someone, and it wasn't successful. There was someone that called me from the base, and they wanted to have that side office, that corner office, maybe, because it had an entrance right there, and they wouldn't answer the phone. And so you could get some rentals if you just put a sign, a nice sign up in each thing, have a set rent, be organized, and you will get people that will rent.
My good guess necessity will drive that as they're putting money into this endeavor, that they are probably going to be very, very aggressive about renting their apartments or whatever they have to rent.
And we need to service use the businesses, the people at the sandwich shop, and encourage the stores to,
Absolutely.
you know, to provide more food and more things here.
For Mr. Smith and Mr. Zua, could you please identify to the public who may not know what properties you now have here so that they can say, oh yeah, that belongs to Mr. Bruce and Mr. Zua and Smith?
Well, none of them belong to us. It's the company is HSP LLC. That's myself, Steve, and Hal Hayes.
Herlong Surplus Properties is what it is.
No, break it
And
down.
and it
See, a
owns,
lot of people don't know what that
it
is.
owns this building, it owns the 2 old barracks, it owns the little building between the 2 old barracks that need to be torn down. It owns the subdivision, it owns behind the school all the way to the railroad tracks and down to the county dump. It owns parcel W over here, where it's got those big old round, whatever they are, TV dishes.
Satellites.
It owns this building, it owns the mess hall, it owns the dormitories, the old dormitories, and it owns building 2067. They own something over there too.
I think it's 9 parcels over here.
It's on the request for proposals from the county, everything brown, you know.
Everybody's got to understand, we're at the ground floor of this thing. I mean, it's taken years to destroy it, and it's going to take a little while to bring it back up. So it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen.
The best way is watch where the trees stop falling.
Mark it off with orange, would you?
Tom, if indeed there's still a non-exploited ordinance in Honey Lake, who's going to pay to clean that up? I know the government only went out 10 feet.
In the MOU, which we bought into when we bought this property, if there's something found in an ordinance on that property, the government is going to clean it up.
They got,
And that's the MOU that we bought into that MOU when we bought this property. A part of the original MOU, and the original MOU, if anything's found, you to call the government, and the government takes it away. We thought we'd allow terrorists to go scavenge.
but I mean, if there is something in Honey Lake, so the government will have
The government will get it.
Will they get an all clear on that before FedEx comes in?
I have no idea. I have no idea if FedEx is coming in.
Well,
I mean, who knows if we can even do anything out there.
Yeah, it's a risk. The risk factor is big. And for somebody to take it on, it's got to be the right deal.
deep pockets.
And a lot of salesmanship.
And a lot of sale, and a lot of drive.
As owners of the property, you have to do a kind of a preliminary hazard or,
It's all been done.
okay,
It's all part of the MOU, the original MOU.
yeah, not something like that. I'm talking about environmental studies.
Oh,
You have to do just a minor one, saying, yeah, there's water this side, or,
no, not until we do something with the site. And then, depending on what the county makes us do, depends on whether we do anything with that site.
Ignorance of my part is why I asked.
Oh, no, it's a good question, because that is what can stop a project right now.
Instantly.
I mean, if you're gonna tell me, we're doing a project once in Susanville, and we bought this land, it was about 8 acres, we put it in escrow. At that time, the city wanted us to give them a complete plan on everything we were gonna develop on that property. And we were putting a grocery store, my office, a feed store, and a card lock. We weren't using the whole project, the whole property. But they wanted a complete plan of everything. So that would have added another $150,000 in planning to figure out what we're gonna do, and then at least $100,000 in interest. So you've just added $250,000 to a project. Goodbye. It ain't worth it.
We're trying to try to avoid that stuff.
Tom, have
Yep.
you got a timeline now of how the procedure's going to go from midweek, what steps you take now
Nope.
from tonight
Nope.
at all? Have you got some idea of what is the procedure then you could tell us?
On a
Like,
timeline?
A couple of weeks later, or a month down the track, we've got another meeting, or?
We will do that, and we will give updates, and I can't speak for these guys, you know, this is their investment, this isn't Tom's investment, but knowing what I know of them, they're not gonna sit on their hands.
No, time's money.
You know, that costs you money when you're not moving, so only the federal government can get away with that one. Yeah, in the county, also. Barbara?
Tom, can we look at having one of these meetings once a month?
You know, I'd rather make it to when there's really something to talk about, because then we lose the drive to the meeting. If we go every couple months and we have some, well, I mean, say they got the runway and they landed UPS, yeah, we'd have a meeting that night. Okay. So, but, I mean, to just have a meeting for the sake of having a meeting, let's have some progress. Yeah, but yeah, we will have meetings, and I think everybody I have like an advisory council, and everybody's, can participate in this advisory council that I have. They know that, we have these meetings periodically, what, monthly? Yeah. So, as necessary, so, and anybody's invited to that, and we will post those advisory council things. So we just talk business. If there's something that comes up in the county, and I kind of want to discuss it, and I want to run it by them, by the constituents who are, what I tell everybody is, I didn't get elected, we did, okay? And we as one voice is a very powerful voice. So that's why we have these advisory council meetings. That's why we have, I don't know, how many town halls have we had, Richard? Several meetings. So, and we'll continue that.
Steve, have you read that consultant report? I had an opportunity to read it last weekend. Have you guys had the opportunity to read it yet? It was done by the county when they received the MOU from the Army. There's a lot of good information what they suggested you go to, and a lot of it was I guess it's the National Guard Air Wing in Reno, and Utah and Oregon. I mean, these were some of the suggestions. They had a lot of good ideas, and the reason I brought this up is that they're trying to reinvent the wheel. All that information there and the contact points was originally interested in moving some resources here. So it might give you some ideas, and after I read it, I gave it to Tom, and I'm hoping that you guys can get your hands on it, and it may give you some information that you guys can use.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Felix, and we will, but we got a big hurdle it's a long ways off before we get the runway, if we ever get it. So, you know, we're focused here right now, and I will read that, and if we get the runway, I'll be coming to your door and saying, asking you questions on it. You know, it's just that there's so much going on, and we only have so much time, and that runway is so questionable. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with it.
Are you looking for investors to help you?
We're always looking for investors. No, not at this point. But we may, you know, if the runway goes through, there's a very likely chance. There's a very likely chance we may put something together in a limited partnership format and invite everybody in South County to have a part of it. Just a little part, but make everyone a part of the activity. And I don't think it'll cause a conflict with the voting of the supervisor if they put pressure on them because they own a little bit of it. But it sure could make you feel like you're a part of everything and that you're knowledgeable of what's going on. And I believe in that kind of a concept or relationship.
Anything else?
Tom, I just want anybody who would like me to send the link for the Lassen County Scoop so that you can watch the supervisor meetings. If you'll just give me your contact, your email address, I will forward you the link. I will forward you the meeting of yesterday so you can see what other certain supervisors had to say about your community so that you can contact that particular supervisor and tell them how upset you are at their attitude. And that maybe somebody needs to run against that supervisor, or maybe he needs to be replaced.
Golly, what a thought.
Colleen?
I just want to thank you guys for coming out here. We appreciate it. We like to have people
Well, I feel good about this. I think that, the community's kind of banding together like I haven't seen.
I think that's what Susan Bill's afraid of. They've never.
Like I said, one voice is pretty strong.
That's
One
right.
voice is pretty strong. Once again, I'm not afraid to do that.
Okay, come on now.
Anybody like to say?
Anything else?
Open invitation.
Anybody get right in the newspaper out here?
Yes, we did.
Did they show up?
Of course not. You know the old saying, Phil, bad news travels fast. Good news kind of sticks in a spot. And I really deem this as good news to getting all you folks out here. I really appreciate your passion and your thought process in trying to get this thing moving forward because it's really critical for our community.
Well, the county's not going to do it. We have to.
Exactly. That's great. We know that. Let's go. Felix.
I just wanted to say to Rich, and I know I put him on the spot today. The reason I did it, Rich, because I get questions asked about the discussion I had with you. This way, they know, the community knows what happened. The idea is we're going to start moving on, and now we're going to improve ourselves by marketing ourselves with the help of Stephen Leonard. And don't think it's personal, it's not. It's just the community needed to know, we can move on now.
I don't take any of this personal.
Well, Butch?
Yeah, I just want to let them know that the work you guys do out here, so work, and they look a lot better.
We just started.
They're just getting going. They're just getting going.
I've been told to be nice tonight, but if you know anyone who has like an auditing experience, the auditor is up for re-election this year. That's the assessor, the assessor, the one who taxes this property. Richard collects. So this would be one heck of a block vote.
We should open the bar in the neighborhood.
I have a feeling he's going to try to assess us out.
Yeah. Oh, we had that talk too, didn't we, Richard? Okay, I think we're done for tonight.
Thank you.
Who is saying what?